Dear students, today we shall discuss the next topic, that is hydraulic circuits. So, in design of hydraulic circuits, there are four types of design, that is control of single acting hydraulic cylinder, control of double acting hydraulic cylinder, regenerative cylinder circuit, and meter in and meter out circuit. Now we shall discuss the first one, the control of single acting hydraulic cylinder. So, here we are going to see how the hydraulic cylinder is controlled by single acting cylinder. So the circuit is shown in the figure. You can see it has a filler, pump, pressure relief valve, and a directional control valve, and a spring return single acting cylinder. So in the cylinder you can see that it is a single acting cylinder with spring. So during forward stroke you can pressurize by using oil, and during reverse stroke the cylinder retracts by the spring force. So in operation with the cylinder in normally retracted position under spring pressure, the valve is operated manually and the pressure port opens. The pump flow is directed to the piston end of the cylinder and causes extension of the cylinder. So as you can see, during forward stroke or during uh, the retraction takes place by the spring force, as I earlier told. So when the piston has to be moved in the forward direction, it is operated by using pressure pump. It consists of a pressure pump, and the hydraulic circuit is shown in figure. It consists of two units. One is the pressurized oil is directed from sump to the piston end of the cylinder. So during this stroke, the piston moves forward, and the retraction valve is connected to the sump, and the piston is moved in the forward direction. So you, as you can see in the figure. So when the piston has completely moved to the forward direction, so the second circuit, as you can see in the figure, the second circuit diagram comes into picture. So when this circuit diagram comes into the picture, the oil which was pressured in the piston end, it moves back to the sump in the, as shown in the figure, and the pressure line, it is disconnected. The pressure line is disconnected, and the pressure, excess oil pressure which is present, it will move from the pressure relief valve to the sump. Once the extension of piston is achieved, pressure relief valve opens out and flow starts to pass through the pressure relief valve in the bypass line. So as you can see in the bottom, there is a bypass line, pressure relief valve. When the DCV is deactivated, the pressure port is blocked and the oil from the piston end of cylinder is routed to tank line. So the oil which is present, it is blocked by passing to the cylinder, and it is bypassed to the pressure relief valve and finally to the tank. The cylinder starts retracting under spring pressure and the oil flows back to the tank. So the piston, it retracts by the spring force, and the oil which was present in the piston end, it flows back to the sump, and it is shown in the figure. So this is how single acting hydraulic cylinder works. Next we shall see the control of double acting hydraulic cylinder. So in the figure you can see there are three different circuits and four different valves. So four-way DCVs, directional control valves, are commonly used to control the operation of double acting cylinders. Here the valve shown in three position. There are three position valves under extension, left envelope. So the left side envelope which is present, it is under extension, and the neutral position, the central position which is shown in the figure, it is neutral position, and under retraction, the right envelope, the right envelope which is present, it is under retraction. So when the envelope in neutral position, the pump flow will continuously flow back to the tank through the directional control valve. So in the figure they have shown the neutral position, and the pump flow which is passing to the port P, it will be directed towards the tank T, and the both the piston end and rod end of the cylinder is cut off, as shown in lines A and B. So the also the excess pressure which is present, it will be moved back to the sump through the pressure relief valve also, which is shown in the figure. So the pump will not be pressurized during this condition. So next, when the valve is actuated to the left envelope position, the pressure line is connected to the piston end, and while the rod end is connected to the tank line. So in the, you can see in the figure, when the left envelope is switched on, you can see that the pressure line is connected to P2A and to point piston end, and the rod end B is connected to tank line. So the cylinder extracts in the forward direction. Under the pump pressure, the cylinder extends, at the same time the oil from the rod end freely flows back to the tank through the DCV. So if there is any oil present in the rod end, it will be moved back to the tank through the DCV, directional control valve. So at the end of the stroke, until the DCV is deactivated, the flow goes through the pressure relief valve. So during this stroke, the piston extends completely, and if any oil present in the rod end, it will be moved back to the tank through points B and T. Next, when the valve is actuated to the right envelope position, the pressure line is connected to the rod end port, and the piston end port is connected to the tank line. So as you can see in the figure, when the right envelope is came into position, the point P is connected to B, and this will be under rod end, and the point A will be connected to the tank line, and the piston end will be connected to the tank line. So during this condition, the cylinder retracts with the oil from the piston end flowing freely back into the tank. At the end of the stroke, the pressure builds up, the pressure relief valve opens out, and the fluid flows through the relief valve. So if any excess oil pressure is present, it will be passed through the pressure relief valve and finally to the tank, as shown in figure. So here, the since the cylinder, the retraction and extension of cylinder is controlled by the pressure of the oil, we will call this as a double acting hydraulic cylinder, because we are controlling the both directions. During extension and retraction, we are controlling the both directions. So that is why it is called as double acting hydraulic cylinders. In next class, we'll discuss the remaining hydraulic circuits. Thank you guys.